Hi, it's Paul from Paul's World of Movies, and today we're looking at an independent movie which I saw with my son last week, and it's called Iron Lung. Now, Iron Lung is based on a computer game and was written by the same person that created the computer game. I knew nothing about this computer game and certainly didn't know anything about the movie, and so I was going in completely blind. My son, who's a bit of a fan, explained a little bit to me, and so I knew just a tiny bit, the very basics of the story. I knew enough just to get by, I think. And it's a very unusual story. Original story is the phrase I'm looking for, I think. It's a science fiction kind of movie. It's a unique story, and basically what's happened is our solar system has lost all its planets, and humanity has all died as a result of it, apart from a handful of people, and they are looking for clues as to what happened. And they have this gentleman called, well, mostly he's called Convict, but he's also known as Simon, who they put in this little submarine, which is a bit of a rackety old thing, and that has been nicknamed the Iron Lung, hence the name of the film. In this, he is sent into a lake of blood to try to search through this lake to find clues as to what may have happened to everything. And as bizarre as that sounds, that is the premise of the storyline, and the film is about what happens. Now, I'm not sure what you're thinking at this stage, but this film is well over 2 hours long, and pretty much the only person you see in this film is, we'll call him Simon, although he's often, like I say, he's called Convict for most of the film, but we'll call him Simon. Now, Simon is not volunteered to do this job. He was thrown in this Iron Lung and is not allowed out until he achieves the goal of finding something. So he is terrified. They led him to believe it's the first time they've used this submarine, this Iron Lung, and that it's a prototype and that it should be fine on the job, but they really don't know. Everything about it is very basic. There's very few controls. And so he has to go down using this kind of radiation gun thing that takes pictures through the blood, because blood, obviously you can't see through it, in order to try to find things. And it starts off asking about some bones, a skeleton, and they want a sample of the bones. That's what it starts off as. And so this poor Simon is worried about achieving this goal. They keep reassuring him that if he finds what they're looking for, this bone, and he can bring it back up, they'll consider letting him go. They won't. They always sort of beat around the bush. Don't actually say that, but that's what they're hinting at. So he's desperate because he doesn't come up again unless he finds it. And we've got issues around a time frame, etc., because oxygen and stuff like that. So while he's down there, and he's only been down there a short time, something whacks the old Iron Lung around and he gets thrown about a lot, and he's quite terrified because whatever it is pretty big, and again he doesn't know what it is, he can't see it, and of course he wants out of it. And so there's that going on, and the longer he's down there, things start to go awry, and that's basically all I'm going to say about it. Now, what I will say about this film is these type of films where there's only one person in them are very hard to keep the audience interested. I mean, 2 hours is a huge length of time. But this film is done in such a way that I was very invested in it. I was quite happy to sit there and watch this film all that time, and I never got bored. I think perhaps it's the storyline, it's original, it's bizarre, because I mean, nobody's ever been in a lake of blood in a submarine, so anything can happen. It's science fiction, so there are no rules down there. So, yeah, literally anything could happen. And so we're all waiting to see what it is. The audience were very quiet when the film... So when this film hit a quiet moment, say like when Simon was listening out to see if he could hear anything outside the iron lung, silence, absolute silence in the cinema. It seems like everybody was totally engrossed and invested in this movie, which, considering it's a little independent movie, yes, it's a computer game, so people will be aware of it, but even so, it was impressive. The reaction was very impressive to it. It is a bit weird and wacky, and it will not appeal to everybody, but obviously it appeals to the fans of the game. And it was an interesting mix of people too. They're mainly young people, except for a couple of oldies like myself. And a lot of young ladies were in there as well, which is sort of thing that initially I would have expected mainly guys to enjoy. But hey, that's fine, you know, whatever. I was just a little surprised, but no, that's fine. Yeah, and the acting by this guy, who's first time I've ever seen him, is pretty impressive. He starts off barely talking, because obviously he's not happy to be there, and then he sort of opens up, and when things start to go get a bit scary, he's obviously talking more, and he's talking on the radio. But this radio is you sort of see a radio, but how it sort of comes to life a little is there's just a tiny little yellow light that it finds itself flicking on and off every time the person talks. It's like a boss. She's not really trying to reassure him very much or be supportive. She's just trying to get him to do the job, which he must do, or he don't come out again. So he's not in a good situation. He knows there's something down there that's not going to be friendly, and he's got to get out, and he's got to achieve this goal. And that's the premise of this film, like I say. But it's fascinating. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't really explain any more without spoiling it, so I'm not going to. I would say that, as I mentioned, that it's not for everybody. If you don't know anything about it and not even know the game, like myself, I was kind of lucky to enjoy it in the sense that I was very open-minded about it and wanted to give it a fair shot, whereas some people probably wouldn't want to, because it's, like I say, it's quite slow for the 2 hours, although it's not like constantly happening. There's a fair bit of sort of thinking, sort of working out what to do next, and the sort of downtime-ish sort of stuff. But there's good tension in this film, which is very important. If you've seen any of my reviews or watched some of my other videos, I love tension in a horror film, or kind of horror film, and there's plenty of it in this, which keeps you on the edge of the seat, makes you feel like you're there, makes you feel like you're going through that situation along with Simon in the film. So I found it a really interesting watch. I can't wait to watch it again. Actually, I want to watch it again. I want to see it more, sort of, and take it in a little bit more than I did previously. I saw it quite late at night. It's in a couple of other films during the day, and so I was getting a bit tired. So I'm sure there's a couple of things I might have missed, but it wasn't because the film was bad. It was just me getting very tired. So, would I see it again? I've already said I would, certainly, and I think it's the sort of film that you should see on the big screen, to be fair. It is quite dark in places, but hey, it's that sort of film, so why wouldn't it be? And just to give you an idea, I gave it a 6.5 out of 10, which is a pretty reasonable. It's an independent film. It's all shot in this submarine. I think the entire film is, in this small submarine, which is like a big tube. It's on, I guess, but it's just like a tube, and that's it. There's a chair, a little small control panel, a window at times when he comes up, and little else. So despite that, it's a great film and worth watching. So if this is your sort of thing, get out and see it. It's very limited release in the big cinemas, so you have to look out for it, and when you see it, go and see it. Don't wait around for it, because it could be gone before you get there. So look out for this one. So it's Iron Lung, and well worth a visit. And so I'd like to, and if you've seen it, or you like the game, and you want to, you'd love to comment and say what you think about it. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Whatever. just let me know. It'll be great. I'd love to hear what other people's thoughts are. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. Something totally different and original, which is great for me. It's hard to find different things these days. So if it's something you enjoyed, let us know. And if you hated it, like I say, let me know too. So anyway, those are your thoughts. By all means, share them with me. I'd love to hear them. And here we go. And if you if you like me, love the movies, let's try and get together maybe, and I'll see you at the movies.
See you later.
Bye.